What's up, guys? Pop 101 here. Coming at you with another stream on Blade and Sorcery, so let's get to it. Last one I worked on, I made the batarang. Let's see if there's something new I can show you for this one. Let's just look through these really quick, see if there's anything interesting. I've made way too many mods. Okay, let's teach you. Where is it? Let me work on my shield. Here we go. Not quite sure if this is the one I was working on, if it's the right version. Oh, it looks like it. So you guys can see, the animation looks like this. I need to do a couple of fixes to figure out why it starts so small. It's really annoying because if you look at it right now, it's size 111. When you start the animation, it goes to 0.75. So, let's remove that. And hopefully, because that is what changed the scale, that's what we need. I hope. Nah, maybe not. It's always difficult when you're not the one who makes the animation. So what if I started at, let's see. They all stay. That's interesting. And if I control click on each one of these, then it won't select the ones at the bottom, because it selects this individual thing. Let's hope I'm right about that. Doesn't look like I'm right about that. Let me just start over. Because I really like this shield. I think it's awesome. Back the prefab. It's got the body, all the bots. So let's set it to 111 for everything. And let's add in the animator. Add in the controller. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. And it shrinks again. Tell me why the guy that made this animation wanted it to shrink. What's the point of that? It's just annoying. let's start it again. No, let's see if I can do something about that. Have it start at that size. And if it starts at it, then maybe. Aha! There's a little bit of a workaround. Okay. So let's compare this to a weapon in game. You know what? That is actually a very good size for the shield, and that's working out. So you know what? I'm gonna keep it like that size, and I don't have a problem with it. And if you guys do, doesn't matter. Hello, professional. Ooh. Nice of you to watch this. So let's delete that because I don't need it anymore, so I don't get confused. And I'm excited to be working on the shield again because it's one of my it's the one thing that I really want to be able to put in game and have it actually activate. Just being let's put the colors on it first before I keep talking about it. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put the colors. All of these. That's just, you can shift click. There's no blue in this, correct? No, it's just a metallic matte. So there you go, it's nice and shiny. For that, I figure why not? You can also just drag it onto the certain things. The ring. Let's make it this one. This is the one with the imbue, correct? Yep. So in game, if you want to imbue the shield for funsies, now you can. My only question is, does that rotate? Yes, it does. Okay. So when I actually activate it in game, I need to make it activate once. And then, is there a reverse animation that I can do? Probably not. So, this is something I hope you guys will enjoy. Just copy that with Control D. Reverse animation. Okay, so it would look like this. Something really cool that you can do, if I can size this up properly. Okay, there's a lot. Let's see. So let's drag. How am I going to do this? I don't think I've ever done it on an animation this big before. So let's try it. You copy everything, shrink it, now grab the other end, rotate it. So where did it start? So it stops at 50. Hold on. Let's test this out. The normal animation. It goes for exactly 60, correct? Or does it not? I'd love to know why the guy who made this couldn't make it go for 60 seconds. Anyways, to do the reverse, go to animation. You see that it's selected. So you do Control A to select everything. Drag this end right here. Grab the other end right here. And drag it to... It said 59. Then why was it so wide before? Because it doesn't start. No, I don't know. I don't know why it looks like this. Because it's at over 130. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Regardless, let me show you what I'm going to do. I'll put it at 127 on this. So you drag this end over and you flip it. That should be it. So, let's say the shield is activated. What you can do, get rid of the animator. You don't need that. If you do animation, one thing you can do is call it by script. So, you select both of these. You make sure that they're legacy. Save that because it's very important. And you only want it to wrap once. So I believe you can set it to once. I've only worked with loop when I was using the script that Lil Husky wrote, but let's try this. So now, if I click on this, change the size to deuce so it can hold two animations, the actual opening animation and the opposite animation. So if I did this properly, okay, good, you can see both. Open animation, looks like that. And if I do the close animation, there you go, look at that. It closes. How awesome is that? So imagine in-game being able to activate it and deactivate it whenever you choose. And now that I'm doing this, I think it would be cool if you could have this pierce. Because yes, it's going to be a shield, but I don't want to do that. So create an empty. I believe that Drag sent me a shield already. So let me see if I can just find that and copy it. I don't see it. Oh, I can just take my Captain America shield, because that works just fine. Yep, this is the done one. And I use the collider script on it so it could have accurate collisions. Tell me that doesn't look good. Look at how amazing those collisions are. That's perfect. So, what you can do, just let me get rid of that. And I'm going to make my life easy. Shield, delete that. Since it was originally facing this way, check out the handles. I'm just going to rotate this 180 degrees. Not that way. On the y-axis, so. There you go. Now you can add a little bit of a whoosh. Also, if you guys haven't tried out the Batarang yet, it's actually a lot of fun. More fun than I originally thought it would be. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. Let's set this to 0. Drag it in. Alright. So the thing that has the imbue is this. The spin ring. So put that on. Now it will be able to be imbued. I hope. Let's just make sure I already turned on the... Yep, read and write is already enabled. Whoosh is on. Preview is set to be nice and pretty. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I should probably add the animation to this too. What is... Now this has the animation. So what you can do, something cool. Let's hope it actually works. You can drag it in. You know, I don't understand why it doesn't always do that. For some reason, you can drag it in only sometimes, not all the time. It's very weird. Okay, then all you need to do is just re-drag in the animations, turn on animation. And that's annoying. Well, I guess I don't need it there. I can leave it here. Because it still works, it still gets called in-game. So why not? I just like for it to be up there, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. And it only has one handle. So let's add some textures first. You get your arm here. Now this one is a little bit darker. It's a little bit lighter. So you can tell by looking at it like that. So that one's a little darker. Let's have the ends be slightly darker. Right, that's what I did. Yeah. Slightly darker. Let's just make sure. Click that. Oh, there you go. You can control click on them, and it selects multiple too. Okay, you see that's a little bit lighter. Give it a little bit of color. Is this? Yeah, those are the right textures. Okay, perfect. Now, I don't want anything else to have the emission. Let's just make all these the same then. Another cool thing you can do if you want to just easily select everything, drag it, and selects every single thing that requires a texture. And look at that, you know why it didn't actually do anything? Because that one doesn't have a base texture. This one does. So the one that has the emission is the ring. So let's drag on the emission. Check if it works. Yep. Okay. It's metallic. It's looking really nice. What I want to do is take off the metallic map for that. Let's see. Need to find where I put the files, because they didn't come with this one. A good way to do that is it's named 02-default_albedo. So there you go. Double click on it. You can open it up. Now you hit the X. It takes you where it is, where the folder, and it's in the ice cyclone weapon. It's not supposed to be there, but okay. So now, at least I know where it is. Zero 2. Make sure the albedo is the one that's selected. And I want these to be. I want the ends and the back of it to be especially shiny. So I can give it my own metallic matte. Set it to 1 so it is the shiniest that it can possibly be. I think that looks good so far. Hope you guys do too. You're right. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. And that is just sucky. But hopefully it'll get updated soon. Alright, let's work on the handle. Make sure axis is at 0, because you don't want it to be two-handed. Blue arrow facing the way you want it to go, so that way. So let's change this to 180. Set it to be at 0, 0, 0. Turn off the gizmo, because if you do that, so you can't see any of the colliders or anything, it makes it a little bit easier to work with. And don't press F because it does that. Most annoying feature. Okay, so where's 2D? Now it's facing the front. Let's make sure it's gripping this perfectly. Turn the gizmos on. And I'm guessing you don't want to be able to hold it with your fist in it. So let's keep it like that. We don't want this orientation or that one. So let's delete those. So now you can grab it like this or upside down. Save it. Yep. Calculate. Handle must reach a positive number. Handle reach must be a positive number. Handle reach. Curious. Reach is 1. Maybe that's why I was having issues with it before. I guess even I learned stuff now too. Calculate reach. Whatever. Set it to 0. Set it to 1. Can override Unity. Why did I start modding? I thought it was cool. I figured I'd give it a shot in the summer when I had a little bit more free time. And I don't know, I just kept doing it. And one thing I can show you while I'm here is you go to Sketchfab. One thing that helps with finding models, weapons and military, downloadable, most recent. It shows you the most recent ones that are cool. For example, you see this printy sword. I didn't realize this. Look at this. So, you see this sword right here? This description, that's really funny because look at that. This guy just made that. That exact weapon. With that exact description too. Did he give it a credit? Ha! No, he did not. Well, that's not cool. But anyways, I just thought it was interesting. And I thought it would be something fun to try. So I gave it a shot, and it's been working out for me. I mean, I'm the number 3 modder in the game for the most downloads. So I like to think that you guys like my mods. But what I was getting at on this is if you set it to weapons and military, downloadable, and most recent, it shows you the most recent weapons that people have made. So you can get a little bit of, holy cow, a little bit of a little bit of, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Inspiration. That's it. There's a bunch of cool things. And then, even though I'm not going to put this in Blade and Sorcery, come on, that is awesome. A robotic shark. Look at the blades in the mouth, the teeth. Holy cow. And the rockets. That'd be cool if you could ride this. Let me message A and ask if he wants to work on that. Rideable shark. I was going to make a tank with him, but I just forgot about that. I'm glad I remembered. Okay, so handles. Upside down. Yep. Okay, perfect. Save it. Alright, there you handles. Handles are done. For this, I don't think I should use my collider script. I don't know. Maybe I can do that myself. One cool thing that I could do is work on the particles for it, because I want it to be an energy shield. So it opens up, it gets this big, and then I want it to activate particles. So let's just use one of the, well, this is actually a particle system that I made for the upcoming atomic dismantling. I think that's what I call it. The atomic dismantling spell. So when you kill the enemies, when you hit them with the spell, it's like a retextured fireball with code in it. So if you hit them with it, they turn into dust and they instantly just evaporate. One of the coolest spells that I've had the chance of working on, so shout out to Doggo. Okay. So, you can watch me work in the particle system because it is quite tricky if you don't know what you're doing yet. So you see how big that is? Let's go to size over lifetime. Change it to 0.3. Restart. Okay. And it's still a little bit big for me. Let's do 0.1. How big are these? Yep. Okay, because I don't want it to be humongous. Now, because it's an explosion, I want it to do it all at the same time, so I would use a burst. If, let's say, I put a count of 12 right here, and I hit play, you do one at a time, and because I only want it to activate when the shield opens, then I'll leave it as the count. So let's do 20 because it's 35. Okay, cool. Now we can do color over lifetime. So you can see they just get grayer and they eventually turn invisible. Make sure to set this to 0, this at 255. If this is at 255, the color stays the same the entire time, so they don't disappear. They just randomly pop out of thin air. That is not super cool. So, I don't want force over lifetime. Maybe I do. Let's set the speed to 0. And if I restart it, they just drop because they all go together. Gravity modifier, let's set it to minus 0.02 and 0.02, so they go down. Yep, so they go both ways. Perfect. Let's do velocity over lifetime. There you go, that's a little. Let's do 0.3. Now, do I want it to react with the world? Yes. So, I'm just going to set it to looping so I can show you this. If I set it to world, that means the particles actually move. But if you set it to local, they just stay and they follow the weapon. So if you're making a sword or something and you want it to light on fire, you should most likely have it be set to local, and then a couple like trail particles you would set to world. Also, professional, I appreciate the comments, because then I can actually respond to you. But what I'm thinking about doing is turning that off and giving it a little bit of speed. And you can change the amount to speed too. The coolest part about it is the particles they spawn in a different spot every single time. The sizes are different. I can change the colors too. What I'm thinking is making this bluish, greenish particle system for the shield activation. So what I can do is set this to green. Set this to a light blue. And you can't really see it, so I don't like that. I want you to be able to see it for a little bit longer. So now if I drag that up, you see that it's white for longer. It doesn't start disappearing right away. You can also just click on this and it creates new points where you can change the colors that you use and a whole lot of other things that I will probably make another video on at some point. It's just a little bit tedious. So that's still set to local. And let's go. Now let's try it out. Yep. Okay. Turn it off for a second. Okay. Start it up. It's got our colors. You can add a little bit of, okay, there's star rotation. Oh, I don't like that. Can I change the renderer? Huh, let's not do that. Let's do facing. So whatever direction you're facing. View. Well, I typically leave it at facing. So whatever direction you're looking at, they look, what's the word? 3D. You're right. Everybody does benefit. So I definitely appreciate that. And that you're watching. As of right now, it looks like 3 people are currently watching this, so I appreciate you all. If you aren't subscribed to the channel already, please do, although I'm guessing you all are, and I'm guessing your alerts are on, because you're watching my channel, and I only have 59 subscribers, so, but if you're not, please do. Please hit the alert button, please subscribe. If you are, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate, because I'm trying to grow the channel, because I really enjoy making these videos. Let's turn that off. Yeah, I don't need it. Okay. So, oh, the other thing, if I set this to 0, the particles would just mainly go upwards. So, the more negative you go, the higher the particles will go. And obviously, if I set this to that, the higher the gravity, the more quickly they will drop, because it's based on a real life simulation. You don't want them, actually maybe you do. You do want them to play in awake, so when you get in game and you activate it, I'll just have to call the function. No, I don't want it to play in awake, but let's not worry about that now. Now, the most difficult part about this, let's see, is the animation on. Aha. What I'm going to do now is just click on that, Drag it over, and since I dragged the particles into it, I don't like that. Let's drag the particles into here. Maybe that'll do something. Because I want to be able to work on the particles while seeing. There you go. While seeing the shield be full length. And I don't want the particles to last that long, so let's change their lifetime. Let's say I put it to 0.3 and 1. You see how quickly they disappear? I want it to be a little bit longer than that, so 0.75, 0.125. No, that's not it. 1.25. There you go. Alright, perfect. And they disappear pretty quickly, which is what I want. Next, let's see if I can find the actual model. So, because it's saved in my my own folder somewhere, but I have over 1,000 models saved into it, so that doesn't really help me. There you go. The only thing I want is for this guy to make it downloadable, because look at that. I really would want that animation in game. Look at how cool that is. Like, you can download it, but it's only the GIF. And that's actually how we did that. Hold on. How do I spend the time doing that? Alright, perfect. So, that means that the atomic dismantling mod spell should be done soon enough. That would definitely be awesome. Okay, from here. What I could do, I think I'm going to ask Galaxy to work on that for me. Because if I can get him to make the what do you call it? The texture. You know, I'm going to message him about that later. That's actually a really good idea. I don't want to show you guys my DMs. That's a little bit too much. There's too many people requesting mods. It's one of the reasons why I turned my status to Do Not Disturb. And still, I would get people. So I can only get messaged by people that are my friends now. So if you add me, I'll respond to you, see what's up. But if you don't really need anything, then I typically will unfriend you, because there's a lot of people. It gets cluttered. Besides that, though, let's make this a little bigger. I think everything is set up pretty well. I won't do the collage yet. I'll wait for Galaxy. It's not Captain America's shield, so it's the EXP shield. Expanding shield. It doesn't need a fly ref because I don't plan on chucking it. So I will save it. And I'll just find another mod to work on for a few more minutes. Because it's getting a little bit later. Oh. There's a way I can pause the stream. I'll look at it later. Animations and particles are not too performance heavy, but let me show you something real quick. So let's do arrow explosion. No, I want the dust explosion, the one that I just had that I can show you. And then I can explain to you. Let's just do this. Okay. No, it's not good enough. Hold on. Let me... Because it's a perfect example of why some things are more performance heavy than others. Okay. Perfect. Your ash explosion. Click on it. Restart. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Sometimes particles can be especially annoying when it comes to zooming in on them. So something like this, it's not too particle heavy because the lifetime is only for 5 seconds at most. The emission is at 12. There's quite a few of these. So the more emissions you have, the more particles that have been emissed. Is that a word? I don't know. The more particles that have been created cause it to become more performance heavy. And that's my alarm. Okay, so let me just shut that off. What you could do is, let's say I set that to 250, extremely performance heavy. You can't really tell. Let's find, are these small? Let's find a smaller particle system. Right there, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Like this. So you see it's at 25. And let's say I set it to looping. So it will just keep dropping. Okay? Now if I set it to, let's say, 1000. A lot of particles. Alright? Something like that will cause major lag for the game. Typically what I'll do is I'll set particles for a spell or a weapon, the emission to be at most in total through all of the different particle systems that I might have. I'd like to keep it under 100. I'd like to keep it under 50. I typically keep it at 50 at most. Usually between 15 and 25. But even if I do 100, that causes a lot of lag over time. U 8.4 has helped a lot with that because 8.3 kind of sucked with all the lag that it caused. And animations, I have not experienced lag with them at all. So I'd say those are probably they probably impact performance very little. So I'd say you don't need to worry about that. Oh yeah, these are my tutorial weapons that I'm keeping in a folder because I'm going to start making more. Let's go to... I don't need to work on any of these. What I can do is show some of you that are watching real quick the map that I'm working on. One of the couple maps that I've worked on. And haven't done any of the missions or anything, but where's my camera now? You can also type something in, and I named the camera head. How smart of me. Okay. So I want the camera to be facing the creatures so I can show you some of the animations. So one of the perks of watching my YouTube tutorial videos is that you get a first peek. There you go. At the things I'm working on. So there's a couple different things in there. I made a different tutorial video on how to move animations, or how to activate animations on animated things using this map. I don't know if you guys have watched it or seen it, but it's on my YouTube channel. So let's say I start it, you can see the animation that this map is going to be working with. Now, how awesome is that, being able to play in-game and see these guys? The goal of it is to have them all be locked in a cage like this. So it's still animated, they're still moving, but they're locked in a cage to add an effect to it. Because I think it would be really cool, because nobody's made a map, at least that I've seen, with moving creatures in it. So if I show you, I'm glad you think it's awesome. Now look at this. He's just chilling out in the jail cell. That's pretty awesome. Yes, it is looping, and there's not really a clean loop to it, but I think that works great. So there's that map. Oh, don't say that. This is my favorite. So I started making that, and I got stuck a little bit on the code, because I was trying to add something to it that I'll explain in a minute. But this is the next map I'm working on, and I was working on adding lava to it, because I haven't seen a map with lava. So I'll make it so if you touch it, you die. You throw stuff into it, they disintegrate, they leave the game. So if you look closely, the lava's actually moving. And I need to be able to figure out how to add this and make it flow correctly down this map, and then make a lava river. But I think that'd be so cool. And then this is software so I can start editing my YouTube videos better, because I need to learn how. And then the map that I have that is complete just needs to be I used the collision script for it. It's complete. I just need to... There's just a problem with the book. I think I just need to update my SDK, because I am on a very old version. Like 2 updates of the SDK ago. So it doesn't actually show the text in-game. It does for the item spawner, not for the waves. So this is my own little map. And if I start it up, no, that's not going to work. I can show you from the animations though. So when in game, you play with the rocks moving around you, and it's a pretty big map if you can tell by the size of the books, because the books aren't humongous. But I think it would just add. It's not too big of a map. I'd say it's a small to medium size, but I'm glad you can't. And then one cool feature that I decided to add to this is, I don't know why the lights aren't on. There you go. Okay, that looks a lot better. Now you can actually see the map. I added this. And I tried it in game and it works perfectly. So, you got your little cell right here. When you throw things into this black abyss, enemies, weapons, whatever, except for yourself, enemies and weapons, they despawn, they're destroyed. So it'll be, for those of you that struggle with the game not properly cleaning up your weapons, you can always just chuck them in there. And I think it'd be super cool to stick somebody's head in that and just watch them disintegrate. So now if I go back to the Blade of Sorcery save, only going to be doing this for another minute or so. Do any of you watching have a request that you'd like me to do for my next stream, which will probably be tomorrow, because this is the third day in a row that I've done a stream. Because any requests will be done. Well, depending on what they are, if they're not too incredibly difficult. And 95% of these are from my weapon pack. Well, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna update my Hulk hands. Yes, I made a mod that I never released, which are Hulk hands. Compared to the actual hand of the player, that's how big they are. Have I done a spell tutorial? I have not, because I really do not know how to code yet. I have started learning. I know a little bit, but when it comes to coding, especially for this game, it's very difficult. So I am not quite where I need to be yet. But when I am, I will definitely make a tutorial on that. Set everything to 0. The fly ref is so far off that it's embarrassing. Handle. Alright, you stick your fist in it. It hits people. It's kind of self-explanatory. Yes, there is an omission to it. So yes, you can imbue your Hulk hand. And it looks like this when you do. No? Why doesn't it actually show? There you go. It's a little techie imbue that I thought would be cool. So, I can save that real quick. Honestly, why don't I just update this? Give it a cool name. Weapons to do. Oh, cool. Rob just sent me an animation script. I don't know what its purpose is, but I will take it. You're a programmer. Really? It uses C#. I believe it can use... I believe Unity uses Java too, but for Blade and Sorcery specifically, C#. Huh. Well, if you'd want to add me on Discord, we could. If you're actually a programmer, that'd be great. If you add me on Discord, we can work on something together. And to catch you up on how to actually create spells, I can message some of the other I can message some of the coding modders for you and see if they'll be willing to give you a tutorial on that. So Hulk, let me just add it to my folder because it's going to be done. Special and random Cool. Alright, there's the whole can. I think that's it. It's not really difficult. Everything's already done for it, so you know. I'll drag that in there. Let's set this to default first before doing anything else, because I haven't done that in any other videos. So the only thing is that there's only a right hand. So some people are going to complain about it, but I don't care. This is the only model I was able to find at this quality for a fist, so I'm going to keep it. I guess I can check real quick again. Java and Python. I gotcha. Well, I'd like to say that it's similar to those, but then again, I don't really know much about code, so one thing you can do, you can message if you watch. No, let's not do that. Just off the top of my head, you can message Bowtie. Maybe don't message him. You can message Chillo, 100% Doggo. You can message Extract. For spell coding, as of right now, 100% Lineca, and wherever Aya is, you can message them. Any others? And Grimajow. Where is he? So Grimajow or Ezora. So they do actually know what they're doing. They've made good spell mods for this version. Ezora is the one that I worked with on the Chidori and Rasengan for the Trials of the Shinobi mod. Which, by the way, I got really into that, and I tried it out, because normally I don't spend a long time testing my mods, I spend a while testing. I don't spend a long time playing with them. I loved that. It was great using the Rasengan, just knocking people away. That was a whole lot of fun. And this handle, hopefully, it grabs it from every direction, which I do not want. Bam. You only want the one handle. That should work. Alright, perfect. And once you learn how, definitely add me on Discord and we can work on something together. I don't really know if the reach has an effect, to be quite honest with you. Normally if you highlight something, it'll give you a little description, but it doesn't. So I don't know, man. Whatever. Okay. Handles. Everything. Got the colliders. What did I set this to? Is it metal? Ah, flesh. That is way too big for that part of the hand. I'm glad I'm checking over this, because I do want the colliders to be somewhat accurate. That's close enough. Or let me see if I can just use my collider script. Let's set it to flash. Normal. Let's do 32, 64. Precision. Set it to 1. And compute. Save it. Let's hope it doesn't take a million years or cause my Unity to crash, because the last time I used it, it did. looks like it's doing it again. Maybe it's because I'm recording a YouTube video. Okay. Yes, learning the basics would definitely be a good idea. Well, Unity froze while I did that, so what I'm going to say is thank you for watching. If you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Please hit the alerts. Like my videos, tell your friends, download my mods, and if you'd want to, please subscribe to my Patreon account. So patreon.com/piepop101, capital P. You get to see some of my new mods like the Dark Saber in beta, the Atomic Dismantling spell in beta, and this was the early access for the Trials of the Shinobi. So if you become a patron, you don't even need to. Everything is open for free anyways, but if you'd like to, I make a whole $1 per month. Like I said before, any donations, any Patreon money that I make will go back towards Blade and Sorcery. So, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.